Hi there, so today I'm going to show you how to do a glowing effect with coloured pencils. Just going to focus on the eyes with this one, on this like demonic skull thing. I was deciding on whether to do blue or like orangey colours or green colours, so I've decided they're going to be like a supernatural green colour. So what we need to do first is darken around the eyes just to make the eyes pop forward. So that's what we're going to do first. So I'm using like a really dark grey. It's almost like a dark sepia type colour. I'm using it quite lightly, just on the shadowed areas, because I want there to be like quite a bit of shadow, just to help offset the glowing effect. I'm going to paint a little bit over this, just to try and thin the coloured pencil bits out a little bit. I'm going to use some grey, but I think it's always important to do like a darker area that's going to be lighter, so you can like go over it and bring all the lighter areas out, like in the glowing effect of this like technique. This applies to any colour, so if you're gonna do like a blue glowing effect, then you still do the same, just to make the area darker. You leave some areas white, like I've done, because they're going to be some of the brightest areas and some of the glowing effects. So I'm using some grey acrylic. It's a neutral grey acrylic. I'm just watering it down slightly. Just creates a nice mid-tone that when dry you can just go over with coloured pencil and create this glowing effect. So we're also thinning down the coloured pencil that I've added with the dark grey as well. So we're just spreading that out a little bit more and keeping the areas dark, and then there's the mid-tone of the grey as well, which really helps create like a dark base for these glowing effect highlights that come later. So always prepare your drawings this way. It's the best way to do it for these glowing effects that I've found. It's always better. Little mistake there near the eye, that'll just go over with grey and well, green I mean, sorry, cause I'm going to do a green glowing effect, as you saw in the beginning of this. So a lot of that ink work that I did before, like, it looks a little lost, but if you wanted to, you could go over it, once you've sorted all the colours out, you can go back over the ink work and stuff like that. But doing that will like reduce the effect of the glowing effect you've done in coloured pencils, so it's up to you. Now obviously, like the grey colour that I've done here will be the whole skull, but I just want to focus in on the eyes, because that's the glowing part that I want to show you how to do. Now we just wait for this to dry, which is in an instant. It's dried. So I just get like a dark green and just go around the outline within the eye, go over that little grey area that I just accidentally painted over. It just covers it anyway, so it doesn't matter if you make little mistakes like that. So the dark green will just form like the only dark area within this glowing effect. Just creates a nice base for the lighter greens to pop off, just like the highlights later on. You can press a bit harder on the pencil, it doesn't really matter, because you're going over it anyway. We've got like a lighter green now, and we just try and blend that towards the centre, trying to add a bit more green colour. The centre of the eyes I'm going to leave like white. There's going to be like a white dot and like line along the smoke lines as well. That's just to show like the brightest highlight. And we just carry on blending this green because it's like an extension of that darker green that we just added. So we're just like creating depth, and now we're just like shading around the outside, slight little bits of green that'll like glow through, but we can add like yellow to that as well, and later on like a white colour. So we're just doing this in layers really, it's the best way to do it. So we just go over a lot of the areas until we're happy with it. You can barely see the green outside of the eyes, but you can just see a slight hint of it, so that's what we need really. Now what I like to use is like a golden yellow. It's just a really nice shade of yellow really, and then we can go over the areas around the outside, make it a bit more yellower, and like there's a proper glow effect coming from the eyes, proper supernatural glow. I mean, as supernatural glows go, this is the second one that I'd use. I'd always use like a blue one, but I think I've done something similar to that before, so I thought I'd do a green colour. Almost reminds me of like Spawn's eyes, except these are more like rounder and look like green jelly. But I do like the colour, so now we just blend that green that we added before, all going towards the centre, and we'll do like a little smoke trail on the, coming from the eye, and leave that the centre of that like white as well. It all adds to the effect, adding this in layers. We blend over a lot of the whiter areas that we can pick up around the eyes. Just add the yellow there. Maybe do it lightly because we need to add a few more colours. Maybe add like lighter yellows and a white later on. Because we're aware of all the highlighted areas which I've left white. They are the glowing areas which help create the glowing effect. We've got the lighter yellow now, and we can just like smooth all that other yellow and the slight bit of green together on the outside of the eyes. So once you know how to do this, it becomes fairly straightforward blending these colours together. You can do this with fire colours and all sorts, and if you've got like varying shades of what different colours like reds, oranges, and you got like mid-tone oranges and stuff, you can do it in lots of layers and create a nice effect, like more depth to it if you add more colours to it, and the more time you spend on it as well. I'm just going over the edges, just around them yellow areas with some more green, just to help add a bit more green, because green is the dominant colour, but yellow is trying to take over. But you just got to try and balance them colours together. Just blend them as best you can. So just press it a little bit harder now within the eyes, with the green, but this light green, trying to smooth that. What we're trying to get rid of is some of the whiter areas that are still left. because those need to be smoothed out to make the effect look more smoother, really. Do the same on the other eye. So if it was to do this again, I'd do like a blue supernatural effect. The blue is quite good actually. The key with blue is you maybe make it a lot more darker, and then you can like do different layers of like light blue and white and stuff, and make the glow look really effective. I just got like a cream yellow, just to do a few highlights around the nose socket there, just to show there's light coming from the eyes. And we just blend some of that other portion in the eyes, just help smooth it out a little bit more, and just around the eyes as well. So as you can see, it's coming together now. This is a really good way of blending the colours to make a glowing effect. If you wanted to take this further, you could like do black in the background, and then you can have some of that glowing effect coming off onto the black. In fact, that's what I should have done really. That would have been excellent. But it's just figuring things out, using the tools you've got. Coloured pencils I've used for years, and they really are good for blending and creating effects, but all in layers. So now I'm just using a white pencil just to help smooth out any other little white areas that are showing through underneath on the paper. That's sort of like irritating to me, you know, to have them little white bits showing through, so I like to smooth it out with a white pencil. And any areas you can around the edges as well, just use the lighter areas that are still there, just to try and blend some of them together. So as you can see, the green works quite effectively with this. You can use like all sorts of different colours, like blue, that's a nice supernatural type colour for glowing eyes, or anything glowing really. Even like reds, like more like warm colours and stuff like that. But I hope that gives you some sort of useful way of doing like a glowing effect, you know, particularly eyes and other sorts of lighting effects and things like that. So really the main thing to remember is, like, when you do like the darker areas, then you can like add up, you know, like the lighter areas just to bring it all out a bit more. So remember just to, like, you know, darken areas and then bring them to the light with lighter colours and stuff like that. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now.